All right, we're here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Monday live stream number 3. Um, I'm sticking to it. Like I said, I these past couple of streams have been great. The first week, I was so into it that I did like 4 streams in between 1 and 2, and that dwindled quickly. But in last week's stream, I think we went like 2.5, 3 hours, which I never expected. Um, but yeah, so I hope your weekend and the week prior went well. Mine has been fine. As always, I want to shout out or start the live stream with the shout out to 2 individuals, Lakota Born, once again, for being a big inspiration to my live streaming in general, and being very encouraging about it when I told him, and that like gave me motivation to just stick with it. I know he's got his goals with his YouTube channel and live streaming as well. So look up Lakota Born, look up Native Gaming. He posts like clips of his live stream there, and it's great. Like I'm really inspired by his stuff, and I don't even play a lot of the games he plays, so I get to kind of live vicariously through him. Um, and I hope that you get to live vicariously through me, because we'll be playing Diablo 2 Resurrected later. Um, but there's first one other shout out I want to give out, and that's to Superman. Superman once told me that he thought it'd be cool if I did something in some way or capacity, like shared about the backstory and context to some of my songs and some of the stuff that I do with music. He was like, there's some cool stories you have, and if you just had a way to share that with the audience, I think that would like make people appreciate some of it more. So this partially comes from that encouragement too. That encouragement came all the way back in, I want to say 2022. But I've held on to it since then, and that's a big reason why I'm just like, yeah, let's do it. I'm not gonna hold back. And then eventually, I've been recording all of these, so eventually I will put some of these together, create some clips. I think once we're done with Diablo 2, I'll clip all that together. And apologies actually for last week, because I realized in post that I actually had the Diablo 2 Resurrected sound down. Um, so you were just listening to me breathe and click. Sorry about that. That's going to be different this time. I'm going to make sure. But yeah, that's what I plan to do with some of these as well. And also with some of the behind the scenes stuff. So this week, I thought about it, and today I was just kind of in a good mindset. I don't My work schedule each week changes so much that Monday isn't really Monday usually for me. Um, but this Monday, I felt like a nice, fresh beginning. I woke up, I took a shower, I got ready, I made coffee, a big cup of coffee. I got to get another one later though. Um, I did way more than I thought I would do, to be quite honest, and got some things done that I've just been kind of stressing out over, and I'm grateful for that. Watched WWE Raw just now. Got my workout in during that. I noticed I have motivation to like. I used to hate my body watching like pro wrestling or sports. Like, oh man, I need to not sit here, and then I've been saving my days of arm workouts for like WWE Raw. Sometimes there's events on Saturday, so I'll do that while I'm watching the event Saturday. And just been eating better too. I think that's maybe part of why I feel a little bit better. Like I'm not doing anything major, don't get me wrong, but I haven't like kept up or even been body or health conscious in so long. Like I've neglected myself even just a little bit. So today, to like wake up motivated. Not really feeding any like soda or anything, like that. Um, Water, and trying to even cut down a little bit on sugar and coffee, but it's hard, man. And just doing that. But man, WWE has been great. Royal Rumble is coming up Saturday, so that's gonna be another time where I watch it and just like motivation. Um, but the first live stream I did, I talked so much about Penta El Zero Miedo, and fuck, if he is not continuing to be a badass in WWE, I'm here for it. He's gonna be in the Royal Rumble as well. But hey, Auntie, nice to see you. He's gonna be in the Royal Rumble as well, but I'm already thinking WrestleMania. I think something tells me that this WrestleMania is gonna be big for a lot of different, like, for all people of all different, like, styles of wrestling that they like. You have some real heated, like, personal stuff brewing. You have this guy Penta, who just represents for like luchadors so well, and what he does, his intensity, his dedication, his passion. You have folks like Cody Rhodes, who's Dusty Rhodes' kid, doing so many amazing things and making his own legacy. You have the Samoan dynasty continuing to dominate and own that wrestling company in a way that just feels so, thank you for that, in a way that feels so genuine and pride inducing. Like, they're incorporating more and more of their culture as well. You see it into the presentation, into the way that like stories are told, and dynamics within the families too. And it's a lot of it's real now. Like, you see it on Netflix, so it's uncensored. They're not cursing every chance they get, but it's very like real, and I enjoy that. I enjoy storytelling. So I did that, and I sat down here and I thought to myself, wanted to make sure everybody remembers that Box Milk is out now, and that on February 7th, so just over a week, new music video will be out, as well as the single for Gossip Is Not a Treaty. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad. But February 7th, that music video will release. So I was thinking about showing maybe some of how that's going, some of the behind the scenes of how I edit my videos. And then we will definitely do Diablo 2. Totally different mindset going into it than the other weeks. But aside from all of that, I went back to the music thing, and I was like, well, that really is my wrestling ring. And there's a project that's coming up for me that is going to happen with, I think, USD. That's who I originally did this exhibition with. I wanted to show you some of the behind the scenes of the Oscar Howe restoration, sound design, sound tribute recordings that I was doing, and just show you how I made some of it. I think that would be sweet. And then hopefully too, it kind of helps like show how I'm doing this, and how I think a lot of other producers could totally do this with, like, there's a plethora of archives, I'm sure, of different legends of different tribes, of different eras, of different times, who've been like recorded audio for some reason. So this was, I believe, 2023. I could be wrong. It could have been 2024. I was asked by Keith Braveheart and Amy Phil to create a sound tribute to Oscar Howe, and I was given access to archives, like, of his recordings, and I made maybe 10 tracks that were each like 10 to 15 minutes long. Thank you, Amy. Speaking of Amy, yes. So they empowered me to do this thing, and each of these are like 10 minutes long. the way I separated them was I wanted to show like different phases of Oscar's life in his own lens. So like his childhood, maybe some of his early adult life, some of those moments when he's like really working and doing murals and different things. Hey, thank you, Dan. Appreciate you, bro. And then also like his later life and what it seemed like he really cared about towards the end there. Yeah, shout out to Amy Phil. I really appreciate her and Keith for empowering me to do this, because on my mom's side of the family, she's a How, and we all learned about him at Crow Creek, but I felt like I didn't have personally a good grasp or understanding of like who he was, what he represented, what he believed in. So let me just pull up like some of the things that really like I found that I just enjoyed. So in kind of like looking up stuff about him, there's this archives and special collections.wordpress.com, and it's different stuff of Oscar. And he said this, and I'll just read it because it might be hard to read on the live stream. But it says, "Whoever said that my paintings are not in the traditional Indian style has poor knowledge of Indian art indeed." You gotta think of the time he was saying this too, so language is a little bit different. "There is much more to Indian art than pretty stylized pictures. There was also power and strength and individualism, emotional and intellectual insight in old Indian paintings. Every bit in my paintings is a true studied fact of Indian paintings. Are we to be held back forever with one phase of Indian painting with no right for individualism, dictated to as the Indian has always been, put on reservations and treated like a child, and only the white man knows what is best for him? Now, even in art, you little child, do you do what we think is best for you, nothing different? Well, I am not going to stand for it. Indian art can compete with any art in the world, but not as a suppressed art." And I was like, damn. You know, like I'll be honest, like I faced like in my own art as a hip hop artist from the beginning this disbelief in myself. You know, this is kind of just something to laugh off and like not be proud of. Yo, shout out to Terrence Jade. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the comment. But so like my whole life I had been like, especially in college, like I remember telling people who talked to me about my music, like I didn't feel like I was a native artist, so to speak, only because like my beats didn't sound a certain way, or not everything had like a power drum sampled into it, or even sometimes like for those of you who were fans of me from 2012 to 2017, you'll know that I was very personal. I was saying stuff about like my suicidal ideation, my attempts. I talked about things going on in my family. I talked about myself, a lot of internal war, and I felt that that was more universal, and I wasn't so much like speaking to a thing, or so I thought. Reading some of that from Oscar and hearing some of what he had to say about native art and how he kind of despised the term anyway, it made me feel validated. Like, oh, I am an artist who is native, and I am Dakota, and the music I'm making, even without the face paint, even before all of that, even in the 2012 era of Bazilla, has always been Dakota, just because that's what it is. Like, so I appreciated that, and I have walked into the project with a totally new mindset from then on. And the thing that continued to alter that mindset was learning that one of Oscar's big fans was Vincent Price. For those of you who don't know who Vincent Price is, this man and his art got me through college, and I'm not kidding. I was I want to say sophomore year, and a lot of time just like chilling in my spot, and I would watch, you know, mainly anything I could get on YouTube, just because it was easy, like free. You know, there was no streaming back then. I wasn't about to buy DVDs, you know, living in temporary places. So House on Haunted Hill was on YouTube for free. And man, like my grandma was a fan of horror and was a fan of Vincent Price. Yes, you know where I'm about to go with this too. For those of you who don't know, let me just show some of it. This is the intro to House on Haunted Hill. This is one of those films I was talking about.
I'm Frederick Lauren, and I've rented the house on Haunted Hill tonight so that my wife can give a party. A haunted house party. She's so amusing. There'll be food and drink and ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited.
Like, is that not just the coolest? And then in the hip hop world, actually just in the music world, really, from Thriller, from Michael Jackson to Suicide Boys. Yeah. The iconic Vincent Price laugh. Come to find, this guy was a fan of Oscar, and not for like the stereotypical reasons either. He was a fan of Oscar because Oscar was different, and like he was sometimes macabre. So like in this Oscar Howe Sue Painter documentary, and I don't know how much Vincent Price. Yeah, I've sampled Vincent Price too. Let me bump this up. Yeah, I've sampled Vincent Price too, bro. Like it's just a vibe. But turns out he was a big fan of him, invited him to California a couple times. In the archive there was like a telegram of him like giving Oscar directions, like after you get off the flight, so and so will pick you up, this is where we'll go, and like so excited to meet you, and like just like whoa, really supported him, and then narrated this documentary. And in the documentary, I don't know if he had, you know, choice over like specific art pieces that were displayed, but it's a lot more like sinister looking, kind of crazy looking paintings that Oscar had that I thought were like beautiful. So then I started feeling validated again, like, oh shit, like, you know, it's cool that I do the type of art that I do, because look at Oscar, like his fan base consisted of people like Vincent Price, who thought that they like exemplified not like a future, but like a way forward, you know what I mean, like a representation that was different. So now I stepped into this project, and let's not beat around the bush anymore. Here we go. And I use Acoustica Mixcraft. Don't judge me. But when it comes to producing, and this, keep in mind, I really had no rhyme or reason to anything. I was just kind of going as I went. This is from, I believe, if I can click on one of these, the amount of time, please show me the time. I think the amount of time on this recording here was 45 minutes to an hour total, and then I chopped, you know, this section where it was more about his childhood. And I'm sorry if you're typed in the chat, I can't see right at this moment. But I chopped it, and it was hard to hear. Let me just see if I can play something.
My first language spoken
Like, see,
formally
like,
and informally.
That was after I'd done a lot of work to it, and then I got it to be this.
Realities, or at least the feeling and meaning of security and stability, and in a more comforting, leisurely way.
So I just kind of kept like equalizing things out, trying to normalize, there's this function on Mixcraft where you can hone in on a piece of audio here, and that was like where some of the fuzziness was coming from, and then noise reduction. So it'll sample that as like the noise and try to take it from the rest of this. So I put it through like, I want to say 5 passes of this because it was so inaudible, and then every time you brought up, you know, just a significant amount of hissing. So it was a balance of like chopping it down, building it up, chopping it down, building it up, all while trying to also then preserve some of the This is before I had Fab Filter, so I was using this. It used a ton of CPU, and what that means is my system, you can see the little like CPU and system usage here. It would just tank so much, and it took me a lot of like trying and retrying and letting it all kind of come back together. Let me just make sure nobody, yeah, we're good. So
I think the family relative idea and practice.
So he starts with childhood, and as time goes on, he talks about his early life before the boarding school, and then it goes into the boarding school, and then he gets sick. So in a lot of the biographies about Oscar Howe, he gets sick, and when he gets sick, he ends up having to leave the boarding school, and that's the moment. Those are the times where he stays with his grandma, where he talks about Shellface and how she had a prophecy about the res and how things are going to be rugged, and but also had continuously told him these, what he describes as like magical stories, and just like beautiful things that were Dakota stories, creation stories, Iktomi stories, the whole lot, and that those were the things that he was often painting in his paintings. So I tried to make that the arc of this recording, where it starts with him talking about that childhood, going into boarding school and the trauma with that, getting sick, and ending it with the education he would then receive from his grandmother. So where should I start? Let me just play. So this is where the Vincent Price like ode comes in. I knew that I would eventually have to do a boarding school sound thing, and so I mustered up like a lot of different. This was one of the few times I'm really using sound packs like this to this extent, but I really wasn't following too many tempos along the way. Like you'll see there's like a 78 BPM here, but really everything kind of traverses in its own way. So let's just hear it all together, just so you got an idea. How does that sound? I'm gonna mute my mic, and we'll just take a listen.
Short duration, perhaps about half an hour, and then I would go play like any other kid. I didn't know a word of English when I was taken to the federal boarding school at Pierre. I was 7 years old. I remember my friend and cousin and I were made to fist fight on the first day of school. My introduction to the white man's idea of a system of educating the Indian boys and girls. The school operated on a military discipline system basis. I think the idea was to separate the child from the mother or young man. Some of them were in there.
So like, fuck, dude. Like, I'm sorry to, whatever. It was hard to do this. It started to get really hard. Even now, just like listening to it, it's fucked up. And I wanted to. He does if you listen to him just on his own.
Operated on a military discipline system basis.
Even without the reverb.
I think the idea was.
Even without the reverb, right?
To separate the child from the mother.
And he's very, not emotionless, but he's very matter of fact, and like he tries not to let emotion like derail his point, and I respect that. I think on top of that, I think that's a result of military complex instilled in children. You know, he's saying he's like 7 years old, and his first day of school, you have to fight your cousin. You know, like the types of situations you gotta put me in to fight one of my cousins. Like, that's crazy. And then I'll skip forward here. It gets even a little darker, so just trigger warning, reminder warning, hard topic warning. It gets a little darker, and I wasn't doing this to poke at Christianity at all, but there was certain realities of what he's talking about to where I had to call to those sounds and make them haunting. So again, this is like, I really looked to Vincent Price for like a lot of this level of like sound, because there's a couple of like ambient things where I'm stretching things and turning the pitch way down, and yeah. So let me mute here.
In age, and give them a supposedly better environment. At least it was drastically different from the life on the reservation. But what an environment. The school used the military idea in everything. All activities were geared to Army discipline. We wore uniforms on all holidays and Sunday. Sunday was the worst day of the week. They made us stand at attention as long as 3 hours. Corporal punishment was a daily affair. Body beating, back, rear end. A person can stand up to it, but to be whipped in the face with small rubber hose, I mean a bunch of strands, is the worst kind and most painful, especially in the eyes in the whipping. But also you could be hit with metal objects or anything at hand at the moment.
And that's like, I mean, first of all, let me just back up and say, you know how fucking messed up it is to like look up plastic whipping noises and oh bro, like felt a little macabre doing that. Not even so much because I've made music. Oh, let me look at that. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I'm gonna look back once I finish this section here and shout you out. So I apologize. I'm showing you the full screen, so I can't see it right now myself. But it was difficult, and I felt messed up doing it because I've worked in horror before, but it's always like, you know, I did this horror bop tape, and a lot of it was like not fantasy and not anything that couldn't happen, but this is like, you're talking about child abuse and stuff like that. This was a specific texture sound that I really like, because I had learned that my favorite series, Silent Hill, when the sound design was made by Akira Yamaoka, he used a lot of texture packs and packs like this and made them his own by stretching them out, maybe tuning the sample something different. So then when it bleeds into the story, and then some of these, like the little stabs and hits, they're to the left, middle, and right. So like left, right, left. Just little things like that. Like, again, just kind of going overboard with creating the atmosphere. And then it's kind of in sync with some of, not perfectly, but in sync with some of those whipping sounds. So this texture comes in here, and like, it was one of the things it's a weird thing to feel proud about, like doing something that's on this topic, but I was really happy with the way that this conveyed some of what he's saying. 'Cause again, Oscar speaks so gracefully about everything, even when he talks about how he had to marry his wife in Chicago because mixed marriages weren't allowed in South Dakota at the time. Even when he talks about that, he's so graceful, and you would think that nothing bad was happening. And I felt the need to like just let the music carry it a little bit and let you feel it. So that way you the listener have a way of connecting to maybe some of the emotion he's suppressing here. I don't know.
Is the worst kind and most painful, especially in the eyes in the whipping. But also you could be hit with metal objects or anything at hand at the moment. Being kicked in the rear was also a daily thing. These were done by so-called officers, corporals and sergeants. The only way to exist or live so still in fright of getting beaten by a fellow student or students was to be in a gang, group dedicated to...
And that part, I was like, bro, what? It speaks to complexes, you know what I mean, that have existed and pervaded and been perpetuated on children since the beginning. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, bro, and I'm trying to conceptualize what a gang must look like back then. So I'm thinking, maybe it's corny, but I'm thinking like Deuce is Wild and they're walking with the chains and shit and fucking getting ready. So I'm like getting those sounds. And it's just, maybe I'm overreacting, but that's surreal to me. Not in the sense that I don't believe it, but it makes so many things of my childhood make sense to me. You know, I've had friends involved in gangs, and you know, I love them to death, and they'll always be my bros, and like, some of them have shown me more love and support than anybody in the world. But as I like listen to it and I think about concepts of survival and how it all influences and what kids are going through today, you know, a lot of shootings, a lot of different things, and some of it gets glorified, you know what I mean, instead of really like trying to figure out where it's coming from and how we can like truly address it and help one another through it. And I think too, because we could talk about this all day, but just hearing Oscar's perspective of it, and the fact that there were gangs back then for the specific purpose of what they're being put through there too, and how they're being taught to survive is pretty wild. Like, that stuff that isn't in a textbook, right? But it's being instilled in you in other ways. And yeah, so let me.
By fellow student or students was to be in a gang, group dedicated to protect each other from other groups. There were no loners. A child learned army drills, infantry drills. I learned them at the age of 7. I also learned.
And that was another insight right there for me, was the fact that he's talking now about army discipline and what's going on. Because I did the panel later on, and keep in mind, like, I'm pretty ignorant, guys, to visual art world still. I'm still learning, you know, and exposing myself to it. I've been so dedicated and seeped into musical art and sound art history that you know, sometimes I'm just completely ignorant to it, and I learned, you know, of different perspectives on visual art and dynamics and friendships and relationships. And there were conversations that came up about Oscar and people he had mentored, and his sometimes some of his teaching style or rearing style being kind of like military. And I feel like hearing stuff like this, it helps you understand where everybody's coming from. Like, of course, you know, look what he grew up in. Jeez. Like, you're 7 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old. You know, it's pretty insane. But again, I didn't want this childhood. I didn't want any of these to be like, you know, overly like victimizing or like hopeless. And, you know, this is our narrative, and it's important to tell the story, but there's got to be a way that we show the resiliency here, because he obviously made it through this and succeeded in life. So where does that come in? And if I can skip forward here,
where it is safe.
So more on that.
Art.
Here we go. So early on, I created kind of a motif, which was what I call the Oscar Howe light bulb motif. If I can find it here.
Black monochrome. Lines were usually of slight curves, not straight or wiggly.
That sound. That sound for me is the ethereal connection, the trance. Oscar talked about the trance. I really wanted to capture the trance, and when I heard that sound and started messing with it, putting reverb to it, it filled me with so much joy. There's also this one, which is about the wonder. And the pad comes in once again when he returns to Shellface. But the first time we see he hear just a little inkling of it, not the exact sound just yet, is he's talking about now being in the boarding school and finding where he can succeed, what's working, and one of the things is art. So let's hear the silver lining to all of this.
Were contests for academics, speaking, spelling, math, singing, art. Track events were held once a year at Pier. I won the art contest every year I participated. I never knew why my drawings would win until later. My drawing was usually different from the usual photographic drawing which the other contestants did. Mine was more linear, lines, extra lines.
Same
Art had
sounds
been
again.
defined as representational, something which I never liked before. But everyone was doing this objective drawing, so I thought I should too. I did it, but I always added my own lines to it as to keep my interest in it. I like learning.
So he talks a little bit about, his interest in school and the things that he kind of, it seems like, really liked and helped him get through. And then eventually here we get to how we end this, which is his return home, which is really his return to his grandma, which I felt was a very magical moment that almost returned him to that ethereal sound we hear in the beginning. I feel like, everything's in God's plan, right? And Creator's plan. And I feel like, in a way, this is the stuff that fueled him. Because, again, it's the stuff that he talks about, that he painted later on in life. And I can tell you, like, ones like my Uncle George, Hal, and different Hals I've known, man, you tell them a story, or they know a story, or a teaching, and the way they transmute it into visual art too, in pieces that are just given to people, one of ones, stuff like that is really beautiful. So again, I'm trying to reach that.
Gave up on my disease. I was sent home. My maternal grandmother, Shellface, was a very alert, tactful person. She was never senile. She was sharp. She remembered things in detail about her life. She would tell these stories, true ones, about culture, life, and everything that was fine and good about the Dakota culture. In her native formal tongue, she told of beautiful and wonderful events, ceremonial or general. I still remember them so clearly I could paint them, which I have done. The language she used was so poetic and beautiful in song and in words that now I try to equal them by giving them visual forms.
Okay. That's the childhood piece of Oscar Howe. I'm sorry, that it moves me in different ways. One is just to take this deep of a dive into his life was honestly something else. I'm a person who has had to travel, and when you know how long it takes in a car, right, to go from point A to point B, from the res to the city to wherever, it feels like these voyages you go on, and already in his life you're hearing, like, it's almost like he's shifting into these different, and I don't know, maybe there's visitation and all this stuff that happens. I don't know. There's a lot of history I don't know. Pierre is about an hour drive from Crow Creek if you use like today's vehicle, and you're going like 65, 70, and then, maybe less than an hour. And but still, I don't know. It was all like something for me to think about, and then what they're going through, and then again that ending. So like, if I go back to it, this part right here is the real part that emulates right here. So in the first part that this comes up, Oscar says that as a kid, before he goes to boarding school, he noticed that he would spend time drawing lines. and all these different lines. And I didn't put this in the recording. I probably should have, if I could go back. But in the recording, he also talks about, and he said it in other documentaries too, that even his parents didn't understand what he was doing. Like his dad just genuinely didn't like know, and they thought it was weird. Like, why don't you draw real things, quote unquote? And would even put away his pencils and stuff. Like, you know, I don't know why punishing him for that, but people didn't understand him from the get. And so here he talks about how he noticed he would just kind of like be on his own sometimes and then go off and play like any other kid. So
because I made them, but that they were created as nothing like it before. Those moments of making lines were of short duration, perhaps about half an hour, and then I would go play like any other kid.
And it cuts off there because, again, like he would suddenly stop and then go play like any other kid. And then here it kind of extends a little bit more because it's still short because it's not like he's with his grandma the whole time now, but this moment seems a little bit more appreciated, like he gets to live in it a bit more, and obviously it seems to have made a big impact on him.
The language she used was so poetic and beautiful in song and in words that now I try to equal them by giving them visual forms.
And these little hits like that is also a reflection, as above so below, right? Where when you go to the whipping sounds, like I was saying, just really kind of hard to create, this became therapeutic, where it went from these whipping sounds to almost like these, I don't know, like flickers or sparks or like something special. So that's one of the ones. The project, I think, is going to be in some way, shape, or form now. Maybe it's me recording stuff like this to show others, and just going far more in depth of like what these samples are, where they come from, how exactly I'm manipulating everything. You know what I mean? But figured I'd give you guys a little whirl. So I don't know, what do you guys think? I feel like I truthfully feel like there are so many archives out there of different people in Indian country and just in the world where like they don't have to be from the black and white era, but they're holding like an ancestral deep knowledge that's not even just Dakota but universal. No, thank you, Amy, because again, like it meant a lot to do. That's just one piece, so there's other pieces that like resonated with me in different ways, and it just meant a lot to get to know and be more intimate about like Oscar's history, what he went through, how he dealt with it, what he thought of it, you know, like almost like I got to hear a little podcast, and that's a big up to the American Indian Research Project as well, because they asked him all of those questions. Tell us about it. Was like it looked like they already had it written out for him, like, and then he reads the question and then answers it, and then someone transcribed it. Craig Howe said he did like his dissertation off the transcript. I was like, dang, I wonder if he ever got access to that archive, because like I said, like even him at the end saying there, I've tried to give them visual representations ever since then. For me, I was like, I feel like I want to give audible representations to things, because I'm not a director. I try to edit videos. I'm doing stuff like this, but I'm by and large a producer, sound designer, and utmost and foremost a rapper. So I want to live within like my way of expressing all of that, and give an audible representation. So let's see, what did I miss here? Oh man, a follow from Lakota Born. Thank you, bro. Once again, for those of you who I was saying, bro, every live stream I start, I give a shout out to you, man, because you gave me a lot of inspiration and encouragement to do this. Freestyle then. Funny. Maybe one day. But no. Thank you, Lakota Born. I appreciate you, bro. I always give a shout out to you and Superman at the beginning of these, just because both of you are like a big inspiration for me doing this. So let's see. Might be about time to get to Diablo. I'm not sure. I could do that. I could also show you some of where this video is going. The Gossip is Not a Treaty video. I think we'll do that. Because I kind of need to see where I'm at too. I better get this video done. It's already uploaded as a single, so you don't gotta worry about that. But I have been working still on this video. There's so much I have to do with other people's projects that I often feel guilty, low key. But let's see here. Let's drag this here. Let's move that down. Let's see if this works. Okay, you can kind of see it. Let's do that there. Perfect. So keep in mind, it's a work in progress, recorded here because I didn't have time or energy to go anywhere this for this video. But the other videos will be on location. This was the one that Gossip is Not a Treaty is mainly like, I mean, it states just that, but really it's just about me kind of being in my own element, me being okay with myself, which a lot of times I lose sight of things. And yeah, here's just me in my element.
I ain't living comfortably. I know this hate is trying to come for me, but really what the fuck they want from me? They trying to bring me down, but suddenly they all want another beat. I ain't living comfortably. I know this hate is trying to come for me, but really what the fuck they want from me? They trying to bring me down, but suddenly they see there ain't no other me. I will not be bested. I'm in my own lab, so best believe I can't be tested. If you try to step, then like this orange, you get pressed, bitch. I ain't got no dreams to follow, I just got a death wish. Creator, bless my words, let my haters get the message. Gossip is not a treaty, especially if you playing possum not to see me. I ain't got a problem leaving all that drama for TV. I just leave it to Beaver. Feel like I'm watching Beavis. Even the chief speaks English. Even.
All right, yeah. That's where that's going so far. Thank you, Bobby J. Appreciate you, Miso. That's where that video is going. My process with that is all take the shots, and I'm trying to like find the money from the money takes, doing like the little, hey, thank you, Cody, thank you, bro. Getting those money shots and those little moments that I appreciated, clipping them all together, and then putting different like effects, overlays, I already started doing some of the zoom out stuff. Oh yeah, bro. So I need to make a video on this. See this thing? This is the My TV 2. And it's hard to get any camera. It's hard to get any camera to really see what's going on. But so like, here's what I did, right? On some like really demented pirated shit. I got this and I spent maybe 2 weeks downloading hours and hours of maybe like clips from a TV episode I really like, music videos, a lot of music videos from like everything that I like, Billy Idol to Wu-Tang to like everything. And instead of just putting them all on here, because you can put your own videos on here, it comes with like a conversion software to make it small enough. Instead of just doing that like any normal person, because what you can do, bro, is you can switch channels, but the different channels are just different videos. And it has a TV function where when you switch it to a different channel or a different video, it starts like a TV. Like, you know, when you're flipping the channel, things don't just start right when you tune in. You'll tune in the middle of something. So it starts you in the middle of a video. And knowing that, I put together, I think it's 5 or 6 different videos. One, and they all function as their own TV channel. One's a music video channel. One is a like interview type of channel. Another is a battle rap channel where turn to Ario Speedwagon. Basically, another one is a video gaming channel where like I really like game chasers and different like video game reviews, and also like old school, like when Vice City first was gonna come out, that announcement trailer. I put that all on each channel, and just like, so now when I'm doing work, because you know how it is, you'll like be typing some shit up and trying to get stuff done, and you want to put a YouTube video on the side, just like play it in the background, a podcast, but you don't know what to choose. That is why I have this. So that way I can just put this on, maybe turn it to Game Chasers or Snoop Dogg, What's My Name, or Tough Crowd with Colin Quinn from 2003. I just flip the channel. What kind of a stream is this? Well, Louie, thank you for tuning in. Earlier, I was showing folks this sound design project I did with Oscar House Voice. I'm a new streamer apparently, but I am a producer, sound designer, but I'm also using this stream as an opportunity just to fuck around and play games and stuff too. Maybe Ario. I do have Vamos a la Playa. I don't know if you know that one. I have that on the thing here. But no, I was just telling Lakota Born, because this is in the music video I was just previewing. Here, we got some more people in the chat. Let me just show you what you just missed out on. I was just showing some people. I have a new music video coming out February 7th. The single is already uploaded, but I'm still doing stuff to the video. Since you're new to the stream, man, I'll back up and play just this once. But this is what we were playing just now. This will come out February 7th.
I ain't living comfortably. I know this haters trying to gun for me, but really what the fuck they want from me? They trying to break me down, but suddenly they all want another beat. I ain't living comfortably. I know this haters trying to gun for me, but really what the fuck they want from me? They trying to bring me down, but suddenly they see there ain't no other me. I will not be bested. I'm in my own lab, so best believe I can't be tested. If you try to step, then like this orange, you get pressed, bitch. I ain't got no dreams to follow, I just got a death wish. Creator, bless my words, let my haters get the message. Gossip is not a treaty, especially if you playing possum not to see me. I ain't got a problem leaving all that drama for TV. I just leave it to Beaver. Feel like I'm watching Beavis. Even the chief speaks English. Even the most sacred be speaking. Plug my ears and I'm leaving. Flick a flame and I'm chiefing. My eyes get low when I'm leaning. They're addicted to preaching. I'm addicted to sticking with it. The goals that I'm reaching. I'm living comfortably. I know this haters trying to gun for me, but really what the fuck they want from me? They trying to bring me down, but
So yeah, you know, I'm not like not a rapper or person who's so you know, I'm aware that I'm not a luxurious person. So I try to just represent my own little style in the music and in the presentation. That song is just about me being in my own element and in not thinking so much like gossip is not a treaty, you know what I mean? Like stuff's not real. And so like for me in my art, I've been doing this since I've been officially releasing albums that have my own beats produced with them since 2012, and then I started like buying leases to some beats and some projects and working with others. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. And developing my art that way. And by and large, like I was talking about this actually with the Oscar Howe project that I was mentioning, where I haven't always felt like a native artist or whatever, even though my content will talk about A, B, and C. But I've slowly found my own little like wave that I'm comfortable with just existing, and who cares what people say or think. Which version of Nav? Hey, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Like, that's probably one of my more chill ones. The oh, what the hell? We're in the live stream. Why don't I play it? I can play a little audio. So here's one that's a little bit more upbeat. You could say that. Let's see if I find it here. So this one is called, oh dear God, what is this one called? End Up in Jail. That's what it's called. That's what it's called. So I'm thinking about doing a music video for this next, since the Box Milk animated video, which is animated by Nathaniel Rulo, amazing video. Please go check it out. That's all Nate Rulo. I told him the song Box Milk, which is about Gosner milk, the box milk you get in Commods, that I wanted to do like a tribute to commodities, so like almost like this magical world. Ooh. We gotta release Aknia Gang, bro. But this one will go on the project that these two videos that I was just talking about. So the one I just showed you, and then the Box Milk will be on, which is called Creator Bless the Underground. Bro who just shouted out Aknia Gang made one of the beats to one of the songs on this project as well. But this one is called End Up in Jail. It's a little more upbeat. I'll put it like that. So hope you enjoy.
If you burn a church, the government builds it up again, and the government takes our money to build it up. So You know, we were never a part of any of those side activities. You know, we're living in. If you burn a church, the government builds it up again, and the government takes our money to build it up. So you know, we were never a part of any of those side activities. You know, we're living in our own world. You know, we don't want to, you know, end up in jail.
I rep the underground, Tunkas bless, Kunshi bless, Krishna bless, Buddha bless, Allah bless. 3 beaters sippies hanging off my chest. Hey, they used to ring our necks, cover disrespect. Best believe I'm gonna use my voice when I take a step. Reject preachers in the boarding school never wept. Gave my ancestors vinegar breath. Commands that be sending us death. God cannot be akin to that. Third-party docs only wanna see a mess. I'ma press pause on the VHS. Bears, your shit's too outdated. Fuck old school cop-outs, I'm affiliated with a present hatred. Still never flame it. Trailer house mobbing through the reservation placements. To the IHS and tribal housing basements. And my urban relations. Going through the dangers that you just couldn't understand. Fuck the vision, Madakuye we stand. Let the haters taste more salt than a can of Spam. Cause they're treating all leaders like the son of Sam. Think I'm anti-Christian, bro, save it. I ain't about burning no churches, just stages.
You know, we hurt people with our music. That's what we do, you know.
So that is end up in jail. That's I low-key kind of want to like paint up, do the face paint for that one, and be somewhere magical. A church on the res, maybe, something like that. Like in Crow Creek, we have one that my grandparents used to like sermon at and stuff, and a lot of it's like torn down. I think that would be cool to walk around there. Thank you, Lakota Born. Appreciate you, bro. That means a lot. This album, Created Bless the Underground. Not that I haven't tried it on any of my albums, because I try, bro. But this one in particular, it's got a big piece of my heart and soul in it, and it's like the thing I'm trying to like stake on the ground and die over, because like I'm creating like a separate vinyl version of the album where it'll fit on the album. I got a couple, like, I think there's only 3 beat features in this, which is Animal Teeth, Kari, who's my little brother's brother, and who is the other Genocide. How could I forget? The second song is produced by Genocide, who's like my idol, like straight up and down my producer idol from Eagle Butte. Like when I was growing up, and I believe this was 6th grade, tell this story a lot. I walked over to Maniac the Supernatural's house because someone told me that I was related to him after telling me, you know, there's other people who rap too. I was like in 5th or 6th grade. And Maniac, his music resonated with me. His album Nightmarica, if you go listen to that one, extremely underrated album. That album's dope. And walk over to his house and tell him like, hey, you know, I'm a big fan. I don't know what I was doing there. I'm a big fan. My dad's so and so, and you know, I want to rap too. And he said, well, yeah, bro, actually, you know what? And he leaves, and he comes back with one of those, you know, mics that are like, they're beige and they're on the thing, and they have the little microphone there, and you plug it in the vocal socket. He gave me that, and he was like, I recorded my first album with this, you know, good luck, and just keep doing it. and I did. That was surreal for me. And the second surreal moment was, it was probably about a year and a half later at the Labor Day powwow in Eagle Butte, and him and Genocide were walking around with Resonate, and that's when I got to know Genocide more and understand that some of those were his beats and which ones were. And there's a song on there that I can honestly probably play, because it won't get DMCA'd, because I'm telling you, this thing is not on anywhere. You can't find this anywhere. Just on the CDs, if you bought them back then. I saved my money for those CDs, bro. And I have it here on my listening music. Let's find it. I think it's called Storm of Swords. I always thought it was called Storm of Words for a while. Oh no, it's trying to disconnect. Please don't disconnect. Let's fix that. There we go. Let's pull this up. The beat slaps, like everything about it. It's like the level I aspire for. Like when I was young and I'm hearing rappers for the first time, this was the thing that like it was my standard. I was like, I gotta be at least, somewhere near the realm of possibility as being this good. But let's see. And they told me too, because I once again, this is the password we need. Yeah, they told me then, because I remember this vividly, like this stuck with me. They were like, I think it was, there it is. Maniac said, well, just keep writing, bro, and doing your thing, and one day you'll be like us. And that shit meant the world to me. Here we go. I'll just play the first verse. Dummies, my money's in your pocket, so fuck that shit over. Palito, West Holotov, cocktail, these Range Rovers. Stop the dissing, pop the pissing. I break bones and give your moms a folded star quilt to take home. Bro. That's that shit's amazing. Let me play it again, because I think I played it without the audio. There we go. Can you hear it now? Here we go.
Hey yo, we break locks with mental forces and shank cops. Got you shaking in your tank tops, running from straight shots. My pops taught me how to murder these clowns. You can rep the underground in 6 feet with no sound. I pound on tracks, this caboverate cats. Gag with a gas rag and stuffed in the back of a Cadillac. I battle cats, my words like a fired magnum. Fighting lions with a team of 69 dragons. Buddhist palm, smacking foreheads across the country. We hungry, treat these MCs like crash test dummies. My money's in your pocket, so fuck that shit over. Never sober, Molotov cocktail these Range Rovers. Liquid swords decapitate the competition. I'm on a mission, got your crew screaming, stop the dissing. Pots the pissing and pour all over your gravestone. I break bones and give your moms a folded star quilt to take home. Storm of swords coming at your crew with a vengeance. Running scared,
There it is. Oh my god. Y'all were messaging, y'all were chatting like Tawny, my in the other room, Tawny messaged me and she's like, I can't hear it, but Teef said, damn, that slaps. Codevorn said, LOL, sheesh. Y'all are, man. Well, anyway, you saw me enjoy it on mute with my voice breathing the first time, but I hope you enjoyed it that time. I break bones and give your mom a folded star quilt to take home. End of story. I looked up to that since I was a kid. Now that we're in this folder, because this folder's from a long time ago, we could play multiple things. We were going to play Diablo, but I mean, Diablo will be there forever. There's another one that is like my ultimate favorite, if I could find it. It would have been called damn. We'll play it another time. But there's another one that's by Ashari the Vagabond, Dirty Bird MC, Wanagi from Pine Ridge, and Knife Star's on that too. That's another one where the types of rhymes they're spitting and like the way it comes out is just like high quality art right there. I try to aspire for that in my writing, in my delivery, in my belief of myself. Cause not gonna lie, there'll be times where definitely I lose hope in myself, or like I'll just kind of feel like nothing matters, nobody cares about me, and I'll get all fucking in my feelings about that shit, and I'll post about it. Like, I don't care really. Like I said, those who knew me from 2012 to 2017 when I was making music was hearing like the worst that I had to bring in the world, just about myself and what I'm going through. So I don't mind, sharing when I feel low, because then I'll get messages from folks like Maniac and Derelict still to this day, and they'll tell me cool shit like, hang in there, keep doing it, think about it like this way, and spread some like knowledge on me that totally flips my perspective of like how I even thought about it. But for those of you who don't know, I feel like I gotta play something by Ashari the Vagabond, aka the Derelict, just so you can understand, because I think a lot of people who listen to me always say, like, some people will say, oh bro, you're such a fan of Maniac, or oh bro, you're such a fan of Derelict, you could hear it. And I gotta admit, you definitely can. Here's one that has both of them on it. It's one of my favorite collabs they did. It's called Indian Burns. Again, usually you can't play stuff, like, because it's on Spotify and everything, but this stuff is SoundClick days. Shout out to you if you remember the SoundClick era. But I saved recordings from way back then.
crimson blood from my wrist. There's a script between the lines. It's as hell without hell, a genocide on my kind. A native to the fact that the facts have been denied. Hidden in the books of these crooks throughout their time. Stolen lands and savage plans to keep us undermined with disease and reservations and 100 other crimes. Natives struggle through my eyes, a pack of lies that they designed. Now we mascots and last spots of front lines. Fight their wars to defend the land that will never be mine. We praying to their gods like a fool without a spine. Broken treaties don't mean shit, cause we never got to sign. That's why I rhyme with so much hate from time to time. I seen it in the eyes of my mother when she cried. We now the lost people, never seen but never hide. In the kingdom of the blind, I will never be denied. I represent the struggle and the hustle of my kind. It's that ill savage from the land of the native. With the supernatural, we still remaining hated. Vagabond, the half-breed, one of the ill-fated. The lost cause bastard, native originator. It's that.
Yeah, that one's called Indian Burns. I look up to that, like, that shaped a lot of, like, because I think when I first started and I was, like, discovering myself, because I took it to heart in 6th grade, 7th grade, like, of that I could do this, but then it quickly became, and I remember on G4 TV there's like a Freestyle 101 video where I forget who it was, if it was Planet Asia, but someone had said, if you do not have an opinion, then rap is not for you. And at first I was like, what do you mean? And, you know, like, I don't want to, but then the more I got into it, the more I was like, oh no, it's not even so much being like opinionated, but to be just open about like your intention, what you believe in, what you're going through, because you have to own the story that you're telling. You have to like believe in it. Yeah, man, like Derelict Ashari, he lives here in Box Elder. He's a bro, like, if there's no Derelict Ashari the Vagabond, there's not a couple of us for sure. And he's like an instrumental part. Dirty Bird MC was talking to me about this, who now goes by Apple Breath Chainsaw, and he's one of my favorite writers ever. The way that dude writes is pristine. His layer, like his wordplay and delivery is crazy. It takes a lot to not like, you know, it takes a lot not to like hear one of his lines and not be like, oh fuck, I wish I said that. But when we come back, I'm not gonna play Diablo, but I'm gonna show y'all where we're at with it, because we spent so much time on different stuff today. Thank y'all for being so interactive and interested in this. I really appreciate it. But I'm gonna go get a little something to drink, come back, and I'll show you where we're at with Diablo.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Pierre, South Dakota, weighing in at 377 pounds. Boss!
I can't watch this entrance. I heard this one backstage talking up their own work non-stop. Well, why don't they get in the ring and prove it, huh?
That's what they're doing right now, Corey.
Well, good. Let's see what they've got then.
Look at the focus and drive in his eyes. Ready to prove he's the best this division has to offer.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Pierre, South Dakota, weighing in at 377 pounds. Boss!
I can't watch this entrance. I heard this one backstage talking up their own work non-stop. Well, why don't they get in the ring and prove it, huh?
That's what they're doing right now, Corey.
Well, good. Let's see what they've got then.
Look at the focus and drive in his eyes. Ready to prove he's the best this division has to offer.
Gives me motivation, I'll tell you that much. Could you imagine if I did like a Hobson if I did a Hobson-esque whiteout things. Anyway, I told y'all that we would be getting into Diablo. We've been playing Diablo 2, but I realized we've been playing Diablo 2 all wrong. Completely wrong. So, put some of this back up here. So, this is what we're aspiring to be right here. This beautiful soldier here. This beautiful level 54 paladin is his name is I don't know what his name is. His name is cool guy mask face. This other guy, wait till you meet him. this is where we left off. So the first 2 times I was playing this, to be honest, I'm like getting my footing back in between last week's stream and today. Let me just show you. I not only played the game on a different, because I didn't want to mess with our, you know, I respect you as an audience. I'm not gonna play beyond what we've played. However, I will create a different account and work on that one. This guy's all decked out with different stuff. This is what we're hoping for. And even beyond this, got some cool little abilities here. So that's what we're striving for. We will get there. I promise you we will get there. But right now, boy. We got a little work to do. We, in terms of the story, we go to our trusty quest log. We're actually almost done with Act 1, so I think that's pretty good. We gotta go to the monastery barracks and deal with the butcher, or the blacksmith, and then finish Act 1 by killing the big spider person. That's all we got left though. And now that I'm playing this time, I have a much better grasp on like where I'm going, what I'm supposed to be doing. I was very not in that mindset before, and going to just places we did not need to go to. And one of the skills we're building up is Holy Fire. So basically, whoever I'm around will just randomly get hit with Holy Fire. And I don't gotta do nothing, for the most part. Dark wood, so see now I've gone backwards. I need to go back. So somewhere here in the Black Marsh, there will be I guess we're not doing too bad on this one. I mean, I'm not getting killed or anything. It's just it's hard to start way back, or what feels like way back. Let's see some of these. Right, that was the other thing. Okay. So I mentioned last time I would farm, and I didn't do that. I'm remembering now that we gotta beef up one of our weapons, but it's fine right now. There we go. I believe. Keep on this one.
I am overburdened.
Nope, not worth keeping. See how I literally just kind of run around and drinking coffee. See, like, the character I have now, who's like a level 50, whatever, I don't ever really run out of stamina like this. Oh, Jesus. Here we go. I think we made it.
Even the light cannot pierce this gloom.
One thing I do appreciate about this remaster is the level of detail. I was watching a couple like Diablo 2 tutorial videos, just, you know, trying to relearn this game and figure out what I need to do. And a lot of them were from like the original. Boy, whoa. So pixely. I didn't realize how, you know, like back then, if you were around when PC games were coming out in the early 2000s, you would see the trailers for them, or like the little in-game movies, and you go, whoa, you know, what is the future of gaming? This is surreal. I don't know if we're ready for this. keep on. Is that Holy Fire? Oh, yeah. Yep, keep on Holy Fire. Like, how it looks now is how it felt like it looked like. At least for me back then. Like, it looked like, you know, even though you couldn't see the detail, you felt like, oh, this is, you know, these effects are amazing. So I really appreciate the remaster for that. Because, like, I wish more remasters were on this level. I think there's even a way where you can zoom in. And I apologize, but I'm too dumb to figure that one out. But there is apparently a way to zoom in. There we go. Man, this guy's gonna be fast. Oh yeah. Might need that. I guess what's kind of funny about these games too is I remember you used to have to like have your parents' permission to buy and everything. I mean, it's a rated M game, but I tried to play this when no one was around. You know, just like big homebody. But every once in a while, you get someone who walk around, and for some reason it'd be around that time, and just like the most uncomfortable wailing of enemies begins. And they're like, wow, this is the game you're playing, huh? This is the game you're staying home to play, huh? Yeah. I don't know though. I'm a big fan of dungeon scrollers, especially ones where, like, I'll be honest, you saw the, like, in my my little BRB thing, there's the Bazilla in WWE, like, create a character mode. I just grew up loving games where you can customize and basically play dress up and make believe. And the fact that you can, you know, throughout the game in Diablo as well, just get these like real heavy metal outfits. Like, yeah. Like, look how cool they look. I just like that a lot. I feel like I should have ran into this guy already, though. Oh, yeah, here we go. There we go. I was starting to lose hope in myself. We need... These are the barracks. We don't need to go to jail just yet. Somewhere here in the barracks are the Herodic Malice. Yes, please retrieve the Herodic Malice. I'm sorry, sir. I can't stay and entertain this conversation. Oh, there he is. Yeah, see, not too hard. Not too hard. The Herodic Malice.
This will help the sisters turn the tide against evil.
Well, fucking A rights. Let's go home. And with this...
Good. Oh, thanks so much for returning the Herodic Malice. I will now imbue one of your items with magical powers.
I truthfully never know what item to imbue. Because you can't imbue a magic item. You can't imbue a legendary item. It has to be something completely like non-magic. So I'm gonna wait. And I'm gonna try to hold on to that until later in game when I get something that's like, oh my god, I need that. Like that. Oh man. Okay. I gotta come back and buy that. Cause
Good day.
I need the tier and L. Or also the Neff and tier helmet. There's these different rune words and you can just like beef things up in your character with it, but
It is certain that we face the Demon Queen, Andariel, who has corrupted the Rogue Sisterhood and defiled their ancestral monastery. This does not bode well for us, my friend. Ancient Herodic texts record that Andariel and the other lesser evils once overthrew the three prime evils, Diablo, Mephisto, and Baal, banishing them from hell to our world. Here they caused mankind untold anguish and suffering before they were finally bound within the Soul Stones. Andariel's presence here could mean that the forces of hell are once again aligned behind Diablo and his brothers. If this is true, then I fear for us all.
well, damn, have some positivity,
Kill her
Decker
before the
King.
monastery becomes a permanent outpost of hell, and the way east lost forever.
Nah, you see, it's a consciousness battle. You just gotta have a positive outlook and identify my damn items. Okay. So... I think... Oh no, I can't use this weapon with this. Okay, there's a different ally I can get later. That is what I will use that with. Let's put these in my belt, and I don't know. This is so bad. Why did I keep all of these? I'm very embarrassed with the current state of just how this inventory looks. Is the belt worth changing? I don't think so, because this gives me a poison resist, which is going to help me later. So let's sell that. And this stuff doesn't take up much space for now, so it can stay. I know, it's like... This is bad. Half of my inventory right now are these awful potions that serve no purpose to me until much later. Let's make some money. I feel like this is gonna help me a lot later. If if I can find what is the 3-socket rune? I gotta look up that name. Okay. Alright. Now is when we go kill a demon. Now's the time when we venture off to go bag ourselves a demon. We don't even care about these guys anymore. I think that's how we fight some of these demons, is just to disregard their existence. You know, it's a conscious battle. Just walk past them. It's like Silent Hill. I'm looking at 5 things at once. I'm like moving ridiculously, and I apologize. Alright, let's go to jail.
This is no place for a warrior to die.
I agree with you. Let's not do that. Fantastic. Nothing to really see in here, except a lot of torture devices. Which begs to ask the question, you know, a lot of these dungeons we're scrolling here were obviously once ran by the local government, townsfolk people, and boy, do they have a lot of torture devices that I don't know if this came from the demons per se. Was it already there and they're just like, hey, you know, let's make use of this? Ooh. Do I want strength or dexterity? Who knows? It's so sad. The rings much later will have like so many things on them. For right now, we take what we get. Boom. I always feel comfortable when I find those. It's like I can take a break at some point and not feel like I'm losing everything. So I've been playing Nightmare mode in the dark, or the Act 3. That map is just so huge that the moment you die somewhere without putting a portal down or something, oh, I was just running for minutes and minutes, just running, just praying to God that my equipment is all still there. Or like when I'm just about to get off and I make like just a quick little 30 minutes worth of progress, and then I die somewhere and it's like, oh no, I gotta go back and get my stuff that I spent 5 hours getting. So I'm having fun playing Nightmare, but it certainly does become a nightmare. Like TBQH, I play once in a while. I'll go through this period, and Tani knows what I'm about to talk about. I'll go through this period where for maybe a month, maybe 2 months, I just can't stop playing Minecraft. It's weird, and I'll keep creating a new map, and looking for like the perfect village house setup location, and sail out, go through a bunch of treasure maps and ships and stuff before I finally make my home. And then I'll go out and I'll explore. And then the moment you die with all of that good hard work, that hour's worth of progress in your inventory, and it all just drops. Oh my gosh. That's when I start to put it down and come back and I go, oh, I guess I didn't lose that much. But at the moment, guy's tankier than I keep thinking I have the dash. No.
Impossible.
Oh no, I don't have a town portal. Oh please. Okay. Damn, I need to up my lightning game. I think the lightning is what's doing it. This fire won't do nothing. I gotta stay on holy fire. That's really it. And then jack vitality up. Love a good small shield. I bet you these things are pretty beefy. But that's neither here nor there, is it? Is it truly here nor there? Or is the here that is there neither here nor there? Oh, fuck yeah. Yes, found it quick. Snothorn. Was that his name? Snothorn? Again, the half goat, half people are probably my favorite enemies of the game. I like any bone character you put out there, skeleton character, I'm gonna love. But there's something about like even the sound design and how the goat people like yell and shit is pretty mint. High class art. Freaked out and just used all of my potions. Ooh, here we go. The inner cloister. We're getting close. Let's go back home real quick.
Yes.
Stay a while and listen. So it's got less of a defense, but a faster block rate, a better chance of blocking. You get more life and mana. You get the lightning resist I was just complaining about. Yeah, we're doing that. And that's just a 5 to 15. We need the short sword, to be honest. So we'll sell that. We'll sell the house. It's weird, these jewels I keep, but I've never really used one, to be honest. Don't really care about those rings. One day we're gonna put all these topazes together. I absolutely do. In fact, there's I actually have it. This is the game that not only made me want to do music period, but also sound design. And I have sampled the Jun Chikuma made sound fonts that she created for the game and loaded them into like keyboard software and stuff. Or used the samples all together. The same with Silent Hill. I've sampled Silent Hill quite a bit. In fact, I very cringily once tried to do a Silent Hill album where it was all Silent Hill sampled beats and that style of like rap, if that makes sense. Fuck, I should sell this. Yeah, I'll sell it. But yeah, and then I chickened out. I felt like it was getting corny and I chickened out. Okay, like I need a 2-socket like this, but I need it to be a scimitar. That's really good too, but it needs to not be magical. It needs to be. And a 3-socket shield. So, ooh, that might work. That might be a good. Yeah. So let's do this. Let's go to the Black Marsh, and we're gonna go down here, and we're gonna farm some runes. Oh yeah, but Codeborn, I was gonna say, there's actually somebody who sampled. Okay, I'm going too far. There's somebody who sampled Diablo 2, like sound, like the potion sound and everything, and he basically made it about drinking potion, so to speak. And every time he said the word potion, you'd hear that the little like. A little water sound. I fuck with it. I wonder if let me find it on my phone while I walk here. Oh, hey, a ring. They must have liked it because they put a ring on it. It's Keith 8, and I think it's called Potion. Underwater Potion. And the freaking cover art is the entrance to fuck, what is it called? The cow level, the secret cow level on Diablo 2. I remember when that came out in like 2016. I just felt so heard. It's like, wow, he's speaking to me. He's whispering me sweet nothings.
I can't tell anymore.
Oh, jeez. See, this is the disorganization I'm talking about. This does not represent me. Tower stuff. Oh, okay, yeah. I need to go this way. What's weird about this one is usually when I go on like runs for this boss. Ooh, we got a grand charm. Usually when I go on runs for this boss, the map is like, it resets and I have to find the spot all over again. It's kind of weird to me that in this one, and I know it's not just the difficulty, but for some reason in this one, as you can see in the mini-map, it's already all like discovered for me. That's very strange. That makes me, each time I've done this, I feel like I'm not gonna meet the boss at the end, but they're there. They're thick and thin. They're thick and thin, our demons are there. It's like a real positive outlook on demons. Through thick and thin, I needed to care because through thick and thin, the demons are there. And if I were to say from the start, the demons there were in my heart. Damn. Questionable lyrics. Not for this one. It's here. No, I need an hour. Damn. Okay.
Impossible.
Oh no.
Impossible.
I don't have a town portal. Oh no. Well, here's what we gotta do anyway. We gotta save and exit, go back in, and try to get, like, the route runes, don't get me wrong, really great. But we need a good, either, like, good stamina-based, speed-based stealth armor, and a steel sword, which we can get if we do this with the EL. So let's go back to the marsh one more time after I identify and sell some of these. Actually, to carry more, I should keep this here. Kind of forgot I had those others there. Might be wasting some money, not gonna lie. +6 defense. See, I am mad at that. Some of those charms are amazing. Oh, yeah, there we go. So, Ring of Strength. We don't care about strength here. We care about magic items. That's what I used to tell.
Good day.
Used to tell kids at school, and they used to think I was the coolest person in the world. I don't care about strength. I care about magic items. I care about getting swole. There's magic items to find in Diablo 2. Yeah, nothing worth anything there. So now we're gonna go back. And I'm only gonna do this once, and then next time, one more time, and then next time we'll go after this main boss finally. So I'll tell you what, I got meetings tomorrow. Listen, the only dexterity I care about is the one on my level 12 paladin. And if you ain't generating enough mana to maintain that energy, I don't wanna hear shit. Yeah, see, look, the mini map's just right back there. Super. Maybe it's always been like that, but on the yes, okay. That could be our saving grace right there. Let's go back. Finally. As much as I would like to get those other things going, never hurts to do. Because now look, we got 50 enhanced defense, plus 10 defense. When missiles come at us, kind of takes out your light radius and stuff, but it'll be fine.
What you need?
Go. See, we're slowly beefing up. Once we get to about this point where this run is just like kind of a little bit like clockwork, that's when I'm pretty confident about Act 1 boss. And I might even be playing it too safe just because I've been playing Nightmare so much. But the runes matter. If you get the right ones, I think already it's kind of feeling like, not completely like a walk in the park, but too close. Damn. I will say the more that I do this, the more I'm seeing like things I want to do. When I used to do radio, I really enjoyed having different buttons, even though it was corny. Like, I fuck with buttons, and I see streamers do that now, where they got the Santa buttons in, and I'm probably gonna get into doing that, to be honest. When I talk about, because each time I plan on reviewing that night's Monday Night Raw from WWE, I could have the sound bite from Pen 15, where she's like, I like my Monday Night's Raw. And this one, yes, we got the Eldrin, but I used the tier. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I think that's really what I like about it. Like, it's way less of a technical pain than I was worried about when I used to stream in like 2016. OBS was still pretty usable back then, but I was getting used to it still. I'm using Streamlabs now, and that has helped quite a bit. Let's get out of here. So we got the L rune. We definitely need the TIR rune. But I used it for here. I'm so sorry. What we will do though, we'll call it here. That was a bit of Diablo. We've been streaming longer than I expected. It always ends up being way funner and way less of a, like I'm getting a little bit better at dealing with the not the anxiety, but just like getting myself to do it. We're in week 3. I promised y'all we're gonna keep doing this every Monday after WWE Monday Night Raw, until the album releases, and then the goal is to just continue each Monday thereafter. So next time, I think we may even get into Diablo a little bit quicker. Maybe I'll show you another Oscar Howe behind the scenes, behind the sound design, and maybe some unreleased music too. I'll play that one that I was mentioning today that I just couldn't find. I know I have it in my files here somewhere. But yeah, I want to thank you all so much again for supporting me, for liking the stream, sharing the stream, for being active in the chat. Thank you, Lakota Born. Thank you, everybody. And I will see you next week. Have a great week. You know, thank you, bro. Like I said, you're a big inspiration. I'm glad that I'm able to keep myself motivated through people like you to continue to do this. But all right, thank y'all. Have a good week. Have a great rest of your night. Peace.